to say in regards to Husqvarna's new 701 Vitpilen. Dandiness, joined with a punchy, single-chamber motor equivalents fun and makes the best street-going single-weave at any point ridden. The idea Husky was sensational and I get it. Husqvarna needed to keep things basic, moderate and to engage another gathering of people of non-motorcyclists. The logic was to make something unadulterated, or, as Maxime Fauvinin, creative lead on the Husqvarna motorcycles road cruisers put it, a compelling single-chamber engine with a tank, tail and a little seat, that is it. In any case, even without the showcasing build-up and language, the Vitpilen is a noteworthy bicycle. Notwithstanding assuming control 3 years to prepare generation, Husqvarna haven't digressed from the first idea. Despite everything, it looks new and interesting. In the city of chic Barcelona, it always drew consideration. It doesn't appear as though whatever else available. However, it's not about the looks. The light 11kg trellis suspension houses the most capable single-barrel engine available. Husqvarna are guaranteeing 75 bhp from the KTM unit. KTM possesses Husqvarna ED, and it's indistinguishable to the 43 kg motor found in KTM's 690 Duke and Husqvarna's own Supermoto 701. Be that as it may, because of overhauled powering, diverse fumes and airbox, it creates a crucial 1 more bhp than the Duke. Imposing have likewise enhanced the gearbox to give a more positive change amongst second and third and included Symbol Move, their name for their all-over fast shifter. The WP suspension, additionally possessed by KTM, is likewise close and distinguishable to that of the 690 Duke. The front 43mm USD forks are completely flexible while the WP raise stun, which works through a linkage, is movable for bounce back and preload as it were. The brakes are the same as those on the 690 Duke and include a 320mm circle with 4-cylinder Brembo caliper at the front and a littler plate with single-cylinder caliper at the back. ABS is standard as is fundamental footing control, in spite of the fact that this isn't lean delicate. Gratefully, you can enact the footing control moving and even kill the ABS at a stop. What hasn't, clearly, been taken from the 690 Duke, however, is the Vitpilen styling. There's a one-of-a-kind 12-liter fuel tank, bespoke fumes, alluring sub-outline with negligible seat and particular headlights with daytime running lights, and is all exceptionally attractive. On the drawback, however, there is a compulsion to infer that the new Husqvarna is minimal in excess of a KTM 690 Duke in favor dress. Truly, the Vitpilen has a shorter wheelbase, more extreme headpoint and diverse suspension, yet once you look past the radical styling, it's extremely not very unique from the KTM 690, which is £900 less expensive. The obvious issue at hand. Since yes, at £9,899, the Vitpilen's quite expensive, as well, particularly when you consider the tickers are fairly dull. There's no mode catch on the bars, the start barrel resembles an untimely idea, the grasp lever is too short or more 70 miles per hour mirrors vibrated so gravely they're futile. Truly, the Vitpilen's intended to be moderate and unadulterated, however sooner or later that winds up fundamental and simple. All things considered, some comparative valued multi-barrel bicycles have things like full shading timekeepers and rider modes. However, those worries don't reduce how the Vitpilen rides as a bicycle, and it must be said it's entirely amazing. Around town, the single is responsive and shockingly smooth, over 3,000 revolutions per minute, to such an extent you could without much of a stretch be confused for supposing you're riding a twin. Underneath that, obviously, the conveyance is somewhat naughty, as you'd anticipate from a major single, however over that it's flawless, with faultless powering. The extravagant suspension is sufficiently delicate to go up against the unforgiving city condition, ricocheting over hindrances, and not shocking over gigantic pot gaps. While the rider helps control any wheel spin over white lines and the ABS-helped Brembo brakes are dynamic, solid and easy to understand. The Husky's simple move is a delight to utilize, and once moving it nullifies the requirement for a grasp. Not at all like some snappy shifters, it'll even downshift on part throttle and doesn't require to be completely shut. There's even a fun little fly from the fruity fumes between upshifts. And keeping in mind that the Vitpilen may look dinky is the truth, it's very significant, with a seat that very high at 830mm and furthermore genuinely wide. Anybody under 5 feet 5 inches will be on tiptoes. How about we escape town? The Husky will likewise journey serenely at motorway speeds and is really quick, as well. On the off chance that you extend inclined on the tank, it ought to be useful for a shown 120 miles per hour. That riding position feels regular and not very upright, also. And keeping in mind that not as the 690 Duke the Husky's seat is very hard, implying that the opportunity to extend my legs when the fuel light went ahead at in the vicinity of 75 and 85 miles was extremely welcome. Imposing case, the Vitpilen isn't a lively bicycle, however despite everything it completes a really decent impression of one. It's light and flickable, enabling you to change lines effortlessly. It darts from one side to the next like a toy and turns so speedy it overwhelmed me time and again. The clasp-on bars give magnificent criticism about what the completely movable WP forks are doing, and despite the fact that the back stun is a little delicate, it transmits what the back Bridgestone is doing. Fit some stickier, take it to a track day and you'd humiliate a couple of huge limit sports bicycles, as well. In any case, the general excellence of the Vitpilen underneath that radical bodywork is that it is so natural to ride and how much fun it is, and all without the need to twofold as far as possible. It helps me to remember an old Honda VFR 400 or all-around arranged Yamaha 350LC, from the days when you could have a fabulous time underneath 100 miles per hour.